Hey YouTube, this is Brittany. Today I'm doing the controversial parenting tag or the controversial mommy tag video. And the questions I have will be down in the description box below. Feel free to leave your comments. Also remember to rate and subscribe. The questions came from two videos I watched prior. Liz Has Two Sweeties and Miss Kimmy 22. So the first question is pro-life versus pro-choice. I am pro-choice in the fact that it's your body. Do what do what you want with it. However, let me make this perfectly clear. I only believe in abortion under two. Well, I've actually had to have an abortion, so let me first put that out there. So I've been on both sides. I have a baby. I've had a live birth. I've had a miscarriage, and I had a forced abortion or D&C. Now, my abortion was mainly due because my baby had a heart defect, and typically they were like, and I was at, they found it at about 11 weeks gestation, and they told me that typically I could continue the pregnancy and they just put the baby on steroids, and it's a possibility the baby would survive, but if the baby didn't survive, the baby would succumb within about 4 to 6 weeks of life. And me personally, I could not go through having a baby, celebrating the fact that, okay, my baby made it through birth, and then being on pins and needles from 4 to 6 weeks to see, okay, at any moment my baby could I could find my baby dead. So I elected to have the abortion. Then I miscarried a set of twins, so I had to have a D&C, and now I have Xavier. So I've been through all three types of pregnancy you can possibly have. I've had an elected abortion, I've had a forced medical emergency D&C, and then I've had a live birth. That's three pregnancies, which I really haven't discussed the first one a lot on my pregnancy journal, but obviously the last two I have. So I'm pro-choice unless there is a medical reason that you have to have your pregnancy ended, or there is a rape or incest occurs, so something happens to your body against your choice, then I would say you should have the choice to do what you want. I would not, psychologically, people are like, well, you can still have the baby and get the baby for adoption, or try to raise the baby yourself. And I've known people to do that, and it's worked for a little bit, but some of them have ended up giving their babies to adoption or foster homes because one person that I know told me that when they look at their baby, all they see is the person that raped them. And she said, I could not bond with that, and she used to say that baby. She would never say my baby. She always referred to her baby as that baby. So at that point, I realized, it's better for her not to parent this baby, because you never know what might happen. She might have a freaking set, something might happen up here, and she might take on the baby, and it will really have problems. So I kind of go either way, but I'm more so pro-choice. Why? Because I've been affected by the pro-choice and more so than the obviously I'm pro-life as well because I have my son. But do what you do, it's your body. But I will say this, I do not believe in using abortion as birth control, and when I say that, I mean it like this. There are some girls that it seems like every couple of years they're having an abortion. And I'm just like, or literally every 8 months they're having an abortion. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? There's way too many things on the market to keep you from getting pregnant, to prevent a pregnancy. And even if you forget or miss forget a pill, forget your shot on time, your new ring comes out, because that's what happened to me, and I got Xavier. And I was pro-life in that particular moment, because I was like, might as well do it. But they even have plan B. So if your new ring comes out, you missed your pill, take the plan B. It's not, 99.9% foolproof. I've taken plan B before. It worked for me, obviously, because I didn't have anybody in between Xavier. So my miscarriage and Xavier, so obviously that worked. So don't use it as a form of birth control. Get on birth control. If you're not going to get pregnant, I will just say get on birth control. Circumcision, I'm for circumcision, and I just don't want my son to have a turtleneck for the rest of his life. I did not read books on it. I did field research, and most of the men that I talked to One was circumcised at 17, and he was pissed at his mother because she didn't do it when he was a baby. So he had pain because he was embarrassed. He was teased, in the locker room. Why does it look like that? And da da da. So he was like, oh yeah, all the guys I've asked said get him circumcised. His dad, his grandfather. I took a poll at guys at work, and they were like, yeah, just do it. So I did it. If he hates me later, I'm like, look, 85 men said do it. But again, that's up to you. My doctor, he apparently didn't feel any pain. They used a numbing medication and something else that put him to sleep. So he didn't really feel anything during the actual surgery. He probably did have some soreness and pain when he was healing, but he healed the same time he healed. His belly button fell off, or his umbilical cord came off, which was like 7 to 10 days, and now it's perfectly fine. So I have no umbilical cord, no circumcision to worry about. It's healthy. He's fine. He wasn't irritable, and everyone kept saying, "Oh, my baby was irritable and whiny." He wasn't. He slept all day, and the next day he woke up just to eat, and he changed his diaper and go back to sleep. But he wasn't fussy or anything. So I don't know. Adoption. I'm for adoption. Me and my sister tried to get my parents to adopt a little boy, like a 10 or a 12-year-old. We didn't want any more babies, but because we want a little brother. But they thought about it. Obviously, I don't have a little brother, so that happened. Nothing. Breast milk versus formula. Both, because I'm doing both. Right now, I'm on a steroid treatment for 6 days, and they have me on Percocet as well for pain, inflammation, some that I'm taking. So the doctor the surgeon, orthopedic surgeon person that put me on this particular regimen, so he doesn't have to do surgery, or hopefully doesn't have to do surgery on both of my hands, says I have to pump and dump, and then I still have to pump and dump for 2 days after I finish the pack, which looks like this. I take 6 pills first day, so I've already taken 2. I'm getting ready to take 2 now. It's almost 12:30, and I take, I take 1 after lunch, 1 after dinner, and 2 at bedtime, and then they go down by 1 pill each day until the 6th day, and I just take 1. So I'll explain that to you guys in my new vlogs that I'll be doing, my I'm a New Mommy blog. But yeah, breast milk and formula kind of just depends on really what your lifestyle is like, because I'm gonna tell you like this, everyone's like breast is best, but as a person who pumps and nurses, it can be extremely exhausting. Between you getting up every 2 hours to feed your baby, then you have to sit up a little bit more because you can't really pump. Now I can have him nurse and pump at the same time, but because I'm having hand issues, I can barely hold him to nurse him. So I really am relying on my boppy a lot, and I didn't really do it before to nurse him, and it's exhausting, and then I have to sit up there and hold these pumps, and my hands hurt so bad that I can't do that. So yeah, I'm for both. He's on the formula I put him on is the Enfamil newborn. Number 1, he doesn't spit up, his poop doesn't smell, and Similac stinks. I hate Similac, and he does not like it. It's too heavy or something. I don't know. It's just bleh. Homeschool versus private school versus public school versus charter schooling. I never did homeschool. I almost did private school. Never did charter schooling. I was a public school kid. My dad was in the military, so I did either the school on the Air Force base, so it was all full of kids that were, or the school closest to the base, they were all public schools. They were the DOD schools or public. And I never really been a fan of homeschooling, because I figure a lot of people say that a kid is not social if they're homeschooled. I know they're social, but you socialize with people that you are familiar with, typically, if you're homeschooled. I feel like public school forces you to kind of be in the real world and kind of get used to how you're going to handle differences. Like, you're not going to surround yourself around the same people all the time. You may have your little cliques, your friends that you hang out with, but when you go into classrooms, you're going to have to be paired off in groups, people you don't normally talk to. You have to learn how to build those social interaction skills with different types of people. So I'm definitely for public school. Private school, to me, is public schools with uniforms. There's really no big difference. Some of them are like little snooty private schools, and some are just basically like public schools with better food and a dress code. So I was thinking about my mom wants to put Xavier in private school, so I'm definitely for that. Charter schooling, not so much. Vaccinations, I'm for vaccinations, but I'm not for over vaccinating. Like, he's not getting he's getting the MMR shot. I know that's going to be the next one he gets. He's not going to get what is that, smallpox polio shot? When was the last time y'all heard of polio? Now, if polio starts to make a comeback, I'm be the first to go get his immunization for polio. But when the hell was the last time anybody on the planet Earth, let alone in the United States, had polio? So no, I'm not vaccinating him just because, oh, you might want to have it. It's no. Medicating children, if they need medication, yes, but I'm not for people who give your kid Robitussin just because they won't go to sleep, just to knock them out. Don't do that. Cloth versus disposable diapers. I think I said this in my other video. I give a shout out to anybody who's doing cloth diapering. Xavier is a pooper now, and it's weird. It's like sticky, like it sticks to him. Like I would be scraping all the time, and I was thinking about we were in the car and I had to change his diaper. And I changed it in the car seat. I put the pad under him, the change pad under him, put the diaper on him, changed him. He had pooped, got him cleaned up, and I'm thinking to myself, it was a fully loaded diaper too. And I'm so happy I could just drop it in a little smell-proof bag and throw it away and not have to hang on to it and take it back and scrape it off and do all this. I was ready to get rid of that joker. So I'm fully with disposable diapers. And I don't know what that last question is. I don't know what I typed, but basically that's how I feel about I guess these particular parenting topics. If you want to do the tag, I tag you to do it. Like I said, the questions will be below, and let me know how you guys feel. Thanks for watching. Bye.